Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the June polish pickup. If you don't know what polish pickup is, every month a bunch of different indie makers get together and they contribute one polish to a universal site, which will be linked in the description box. And we all follow one theme and contribute to that theme, and this month's theme is mocktails and cocktails. The site will be open June 5th through June 8th. Everything that's on the site will be Polish Pickup exclusive. They won't be listed on the indie makers sites, and they will only be available during those dates. Some of the products are capped, which just means that there's a certain number of them available, and then once they're gone, they're gone. Other products are not capped, and that means there's no limit to how many of them you can purchase during the purchasing period. I think I covered everything pretty smoothly this time, so I have 13 products to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first, from Black Dahlia Lacquer, we have Margaritaville. This is inspired by margaritas, and it's described as a champagne hollow with a strong metallic gold to green duochrome hollow finish when a black base is added. This one will retail for $11.50, and there is no cap. Per the usual of Black Dahlia, this had a really good formula. I didn't have running, pooling, or staining. I did build this one up in 3 coats on its own as opposed to layering it over the black. I meant to do both. I just totally lost track of time and then ended up running out of time. But it is stunning on its own in 3 coats. This one dries to a glossy finish on its own. That hollow that's in there will be more hollow when it's dry as opposed to it being wet. I would still recommend a top coat just to bring everything in full circle and make it look like a nice plump glossy finish, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Margaritaville and a glossy top coat. Up next, from Blush Lacquers, we have Berry Fizz. This is inspired by a fancy fig cocktail, and it's described as a lilac nail polish with a flurry of holographic microflakes, rose gold metallic microflakes, and shifting gold to green to blue multichrome flakies. This one will retail for $12, and there is no cap. Formula is again very smooth and easy to work with. Blush has that nice rounded brush that makes it really easy to get close up to your cuticle without having any like flooding or unevenness around your cuticle line. I did get this one completely opaque in 2 coats. Depending on your application, I could see you needing 3. But formula was very smooth and easy to work with. I didn't have any issues with those flakes like building up in one spot. They spread out nice and evenly. It does dry dull, so you'll definitely want top coat. The top coat is definitely going to help all those little metallic flakes stand out really, really nicely. And then if you mattify it, the Ultra Chrome Chameleon flakies will come out to the forefront. Either way, you are going to want top coat. Nothing dries textured, nothing is difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Berry Fizz and a glossy top coat. Up next, from Vianna, we have Flounder Cocktail. This is inspired by a drink made with orange juice and Hueco blue, and it's described as a bright yellow crelly base with blue Ultra Chrome Chameleon flakies. This one will retail for $11.50, and there's a cap of 150 bottles available in the US and 10 in the UK. I love this one. I love yellow. I'm wearing it right now. I love yellow nail polish. I think it's so perfect for this one in particular for like the summertime. It's a very beautiful shade. I got this one completely opaque in 2 coats. I had a good distribution of flakies. They spread out nice and evenly. This one is going to dry down darker than when it's wet, so bear that in mind. It's not a super huge change, but it is noticeable to me. So if you feel like you need a 3rd coat, that would be why. Nothing in this is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. I haven't removed it yet, so I don't know the staining properties, but I would recommend using a base coat because sometimes yellow can leave yellow stains. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Flounder Cocktail and a glossy top coat. Up next, from the Deeva, we have Margarita Frieda. This is inspired by the Galaxy Margarita, and it's described as a tricolored thermal that goes from a deep purple blue to a delicate lavender. This one also has pink, gold, and green flakies swirling throughout the polish that are delicate, twinkling nublia for a truly celestial feel. I love her descriptions. This one will retail for $13, and there is no cap. No surprise, this has a very smooth, very easy formula to work with. No running, pooling, or staining. You get an abundance of these flakies out, and they look beautiful in every state that this transitions to. It's a nice depth when this one's built up because the base is a little bit more sheer, so those flakes really shine through on each layer, and it kind of tints the flakes from the previous layer and gives it a really nice three-dimensional look. This one does dry down pretty dull, so you'll definitely want top coat for that reason, but nothing's going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Margarita Frieda and a glossy top coat. Up next from Esmaltes de Cali, we have Taste the Rainbow. This is inspired by a rainbow drink, and it's described as a clear base with red, gold, orange, blue, green, royal, violet, holographic glitters, hollow silver micro flakies, and iridescent flakies in various colors. This one will retail for $12.50, and there's no cap to the US, but there is a 20 bottle cap to the UK. This is such a fun, glitzy, glittery look on your nail. I would prefer to use this as like an accent nail, but it does look really, really stunning as a full manicure as well. You probably could double this one as a topper. I did do 3 coats of this on its own. I didn't try it as a topper, but I do think over a black or something of that sort, a darker color, it would be really beautiful. Formula was good. It was a little bit on the thicker side, but it wasn't difficult to work with. It did stay right where I put it. You're definitely going to want some top coat for this. Esmaltes de Cali does sell a like smooth glitter top coat, so I would recommend something of that sort where it's a little bit thicker and it's going to seep through the layers but not cause the texture, because this is going to dry super intensely textured and removal is going to be extremely difficult. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Taste the Rainbow and a glossy top coat. Up next from Indie by Patty Lopes, we have Celebrating with Friends. This is inspired by Sangria Mexican Mule, and it's described as a red jelly base with micro hollow flakies and black micro glitters. This one will retail for $12, and there's a cap of 100 bottles available in the US and 10 in the UK. This is a nice squishy jelly formula. I really love jellies in general, but this one is done right in my opinion. It can be built up to full opacity, and then any nail line that might have been visible with just the jelly is covered by any kind of glitter that's in here. Formula was great. It wasn't too thick or too thin. I didn't have any running, pulling, or staining. I got a ton of the black glitter out, and it looked really beautiful in the red base. I can totally see this being like a raspberry look on your nail. I did 2 coats for this one. Depending on your application, you might want to go in for 3. It is going to dry with some pretty intense texture because of the glitter that's in here, and removal is also going to be pretty difficult because of the glitter that's in here. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Celebrating with Friends and a glossy top coat. Up next from KB Shimmer, we have Secret Menu. This is inspired by Starbucks Pink Purple Drink, and it's described as an indigo base that quickly shifts to a bold purple and berry-like fuchsia. At extreme angles, you might see a green or a softer pink in the shimmer. This one will retail for $10, and there is no cap. Formula on this is excellent. I got it completely opaque in 2 coats, very smooth and easy to work with. This one, KB Shimmer recently changed their brushes to that wide rounded brush to get close to your cuticles as well. I really, really like that. It does make for a super easy application. I've been super obsessed with the shifty shimmers lately, and I think this deep indigo base is stunning. I love the shimmer, I love the base, I love everything about this. I didn't have any running, pulling, or staining. It does dry decently glossy on its own, but for longevity purposes, I would still recommend a top coat. Nothing in this is going to be difficult to remove, so in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Secret Menu and a glossy top coat. KB Shimmer's other contribution this month is their Sugar Scrub in the scent Hot Summer Nights. This is inspired by tropical drinks, and it's described as a scent of a blended tropical drink. I see juicy pineapple, coconuts, and mango with a sweet heat of spiced rum. This one will retail for $10, and there is no cap. I always love getting the KB Shimmer Sugar Scrubs. I have quite the collection of them now, and I haven't been disappointed in a single one. This one definitely smells like a drink, and I'm not mad at it. These are super great. They're super moisturizing for my entire body. I use them literally in every room of my house at this point. I use them directly after shaving, and I don't know if anybody else has an issue with this, but I did find most recently that if I use it directly after shaving my legs, I don't get those little bumps that I don't know that anybody else in the world gets, but after I shave my legs, I get these little bumps all over my legs, and I think it's just like dry from my legs being dry because I don't use shaving cream either. So after I shave, I use this, and I have noticed the past few times that I haven't gotten that. So I think they're super great, super moisturizing. Use them before my swatch sessions, after my swatch sessions. These are just fantastic. So that's the KB Shimmer Sugar Scrub in the scent Hot Summer Nights. Up next from my brand Pampered Polishes, we have Extra Dirty. Extra Dirty is inspired by a martini, like a classic martini, and it's described as an olive green crelly loaded with warm ultra chrome chameleon flakies, red flakies, holographic flakies, and an ultra hollow glitter. This will retail for $13 and there is no cap. I think the formula on this is smooth and easy to work with. I didn't have any running, pulling, or staining with this one. I got a good amount of flakes out. I got a nice subtle hollow throughout this. I will say that the bottles that I sent to Swatchers and the one that I have myself does have some like tiny itty bitty black unmixed pigment throughout it. I did strain that one and then like the batch of it, and then just decided to check the whole thing and use a black pigment for the darker quality of the polish, instead of using the powder pigment that I had used in this. So the black dots aren't an issue anymore. I was just gonna keep what I had and strain it, but I still had tiny itty bitty pieces, and I'm not sure why, but that's not gonna be an issue with any purchased bottles. I did just wanna make it noted that you're gonna see little black spots in my video and in other Swatchers photos and stuff like that, maybe, but it won't be in your bottle. So nothing in this is gonna dry textured or be difficult to remove. It does dry smooth and decently glossy all on its own. Anyway, I got this one opaque in 3 coats, and that is Extra Dirty from my brand Pamper Polishes. Up next from Penelope Less, we have Pitaya Drink. This is inspired by a Pitaya Capiaria, which is a drink that, besides being delicious, has a beautiful color. This is described as a vibrant violet jelly base with iridescent flakies and warm tones, and a little pink and gold glitter. This will retail for $13 and there is no cap. I think this is truly beautiful. It's nice and vampy, but at the same time totally like summer and fall appropriate. I think this one is seasonally and year-round gorgeous. This had an excellent formula. It took 2 coats to build up to opacity. Depending on how picky you are in your application, I could see you needing 3 for this. It doesn't dry dull, but it does dry with some texture, so you will want top coat for that reason, but I didn't have any trouble with removal as far as it removing like a heavy glitter. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Pitaya Drink and a glossy top coat. Up next from Rogue Lacquer, we have Purple Flavored. This is inspired by grape soda, and it's described as a vibrant purple crelly base loaded with orange to pink to gold shifting iridescent flakes. This one will be $12.50 and there is no cap. Formula on this is excellent. I think I did 2 coats for my video and ended up doing 3 coats for my photo. Just because whenever I'm taking photos, the lighting is so direct on my nails that sometimes I need an extra coat. But if I was wearing this in an everyday scenario, I would easily do this one in 2. You get a ton of these flakes out without having to do any kind of fishing. You also don't have to manipulate them to go anywhere special across the nail. Some of these larger flakes can dry with a bit of texture, so this one might have a little bit of texture for you. Most of them do lie relatively smooth. Either way, I would recommend a top coat, and these are my favorite ones to add a matte top coat to. Nothing in this polish is going to be difficult to remove, so in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Purple Flavored and a glossy top coat. Up next from by Vanessa Molina, we have Zombie on Fire. This is inspired by Zombie Flamed Cocktails, and it's described as a magnetic polish ultra chrome chameleon with flakies that look like flames of fire. This one will retail for $13 and there's a cap of 300 bottles available in the US and 20 in the UK. This had an excellent formula. It is a magnetic polish, so with magnetics I tend to like to get my base color completely opaque before I magnetize it and then hit it with the magnet after it's completely opaque, because it can pull pigment from the rest of the nail, and that's how you create that magnetic line, and it can leave bald patches that way. So I do like to make sure my base is completely opaque before magnetizing anything, and I was able to do that on my second coat, hit it with the magnet. So this one had an excellent formula. It does dry dull, so you will want top coat to smooth everything out and bring life back to it, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Zombie on Fire and a glossy top coat. And lastly for today is a brand that's totally new to me, and this is Maleficent Drink from Whatcha. This is inspired by a purple drink in Maleficent, and it's described as a Crelly electric purple with glitter hex red. This one will retail for $13, and there's a cap of 200 bottles available in the US and 15 in the UK. This had an excellent formula. It is a super opaque polish, but you can still make out the little red hexes that are in there. I got it completely opaque in 2 coats. If you went in thicker, you could probably get this one opaque in 1. This is going to dry with some texture, so you will want top coat, and removal is going to be a little bit difficult. And then one thing I did notice about this polish was that the dry time was very slow. The first time I swatched it, I waited my typical time, added top coat to it, and it smeared after. I usually add top coat about 5 minutes after I do it, so it smeared after 5 minutes, and I let it dry completely the second time, thinking it was completely dry the first time, but I did double my wait time on that, and it was about 10 minutes, and I didn't have that issue. So I don't know if it was just the temperature in my house that day, but the first time I used this, it was an extremely slow dry time. So just something to know. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Maleficent Drink and a glossy top coat. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are getting this month from Polish Pickup. What did you think of the selections that I had for you today? What was your favorite from today's video? Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.